There's a lot of manipulation in the world today. The commercials we see on TV are there to manipulate our emotions, and there's subliminal messages hidden in everything to try to get us to buy certain things. The politicians are using lots of manipulation through fear and promises and words that are powerful to us. Lots of propaganda. And sometimes there's even manipulation in Christianity. There are threats of punishment. Join my church or you'll burn in hell. Or if you don't do what I say, you'll get the mark of the beast. And there's rejection if you don't follow certain community standards in the church. But when you look at the life of Jesus, you don't see any manipulation on his part. In fact, when he said some pretty crazy metaphorical things about, if you love me, you'll have to eat my flesh, people started leaving. And Jesus asked the disciples, are you going to go too? He didn't say, if you stay with me, you'll become world famous. He didn't say, if you stay with me, you're going to go to heaven. He just said, are you staying? It's amazing if you read the first chapter of Ezekiel. He has this vision where he goes to heaven and he's in God's throne room. And it's an amazing, glorious description. You should read it sometime. It's super cool. And after you see God sitting on his throne, he turns to Ezekiel and he speaks to him. This is the call of Ezekiel, where Ezekiel is called to be a prophet. And inside that call, we find an amazing glimpse into God's character of freedom. He says, I'm sending you to a people who are rebellious, who are stiff-necked, and I want you to give them the words that I give you. And then God steels up Ezekiel for the rejection. He says, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of their scorn. Don't be afraid of their rejection. Don't be afraid when they make fun of you. Just give them my words. You see, God lets Ezekiel know that there will be many people who will reject his message of warning. And God doesn't tell Ezekiel how to overcome them, how to get them to listen to him. He doesn't say, I'll give you the ability to do mighty miracles so that you'll wow them into believing you. Or he doesn't say, if you tell them something and they ignore it, then I'll burn them with fire. He just says, Ezekiel, a lot of people aren't going to listen to you. Now, this is the principle of how we witness as Christians. You see, in the political world, it's you agree with me, or I threaten you, or I might attack you, or I will ostracize you. But in God's world, we share the truth in love, and then we let people be free to decide. And too many times in church, we haven't done that. We've shown them the truth, and then we beef it up by pointing out the consequences of not listening to us. But that's not how God works. He presents the truth. And sometimes the truth is you're on a path that will lead to your destruction. But there's no manipulation. God is calling us to share the truth about who he is. And people who are seeking for truth, they're going to drink up our words of encouragement like water. But people who have rejected the truth, they'll laugh at us. They'll reject us. Sometime in the future, they might even lie about us, or throw us in jail, or intimidate us, or fire us, or fine us. But God's message to Ezekiel is a message to us today. Don't be afraid of rebellious people. See, hidden in that idea of rebelliousness is that God's way is the way. And people who are running against it are rebellious. And even though they might seem smarter than us, richer than us, more powerful and influential than us, they're rebelling against God. And that rebellion never leads to a good place. You see, while our story right now might seem overwhelming and scary, we know how it ends. God wins. The rebellious lose. And so God says, don't be afraid of the people who've chosen the losing side. You give the message I give you. You do the job I give you. You be the person I made, and you will win with me. God's got this. And that's something that the rebellious people won't choose not to take, choose not to believe. But you're not rebellious. You're not perfect, but you want what's right. And God will bless you. He will help you. And he'll give you the words to say at just the right time. God's got this. God bless.